Hi, this is Mary coming in for a second part of fibromyalgia and pain. We did so well the first time that I'm adding on to this. I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about sleep because it's something that we don't get enough of, that we find ourselves during the day just dragging our rears, not being able to figure out how to get through a day. And yet at night, no matter how tired we are, that no matter what we try to institute into our lives, we don't sleep. I also want to talk a little bit quickly about some of the medication that's out there that I know that I've tried and without much success. All right, what's the deal? Well, as much as we want to be able to go to sleep, and as much as we need to be able to go to sleep, we don't. Part of it has to do with the level of chronic pain that we're in, making it almost impossible to sleep for anything more than 2-3 hours in a stint without waking up feeling like you want your hips to go away, that you feel pressure sores on both your hips, your knees, your ankles, and your shoulders. I've tried all sorts of beds. I've tried everything from memory foam, which, by the way, for me anyway, it has been the best success. However, it's hot. So you wake up because you're too hot. I don't know about sleep number beds. People say that they may have had success with it, but my understanding is they also leak. Well, I don't really like the idea of spending several $1,000s for a bed that I'm going to eventually have to replace in less than 5 years because it now has a chamber leak. So don't get me started on that. Anyway, as you can see, it's in the middle of the night again, and I'm up. Well, pleasure. What can I say? I have found that very little of the so-called drugs that are available on the market for sleep actually really do what they're supposed to. And I'm already yawning. I've tried everything from, Benadryl. Benadryl works fairly well, but you have to really worry about the side effects on the backside of it. Plus, it's not good for your liver long term. That's something to watch out for. Unisom and so forth doesn't keep me asleep. Are you kidding? Okay. Tylenol with pain, Advil with pain, all those so-called sleep plus pain type of medication. I don't even want to think about it because we don't process drugs the same way that everybody else does. We can't just simply take it and sleep. That basically what ends up happening because our systems are slower than everybody else's. We wake up, in a very short period of time in absolute drug out, oh my God, I'm not going to make it through the day tomorrow type of situation. It isn't good. Ambien and Lumestra and drugs of that particular sort tend to put us into a position of we end up doing things while we're asleep. Doing things while we're asleep. And instead of sleeping, we're eating while we're sleeping. I found out that I started having blackouts. I had no memory of what had taken place the day before. So we stopped out. It's just ridiculous. My husband found me eating while I was asleep. All right, on to the next. Doxepine and those kind of SSRIs, told you in the last video, made me thought that I wanted to die. Well, that's not very effective, okay? all it's going to do is make life a little bit miserable. So what do? I get up when I can't sleep. I watch a little TV. I do whatever's necessary to try to calm my body back down, stop my mind from thinking about everything under the sun. In the next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about meditation because it's really key and it's really important. However, if your mind is bent on a junket of the hamster wheel where it just simply won't stop, and it's thinking continuously and endlessly, you won't be able to find a good spot for meditating. Same thing goes with chronic pain, that if you're experiencing severe chronic pain, you're not going to be able to meditate effectively. So there has to be a way and a place for balance. That being said, there are things you can do. Melatonin is helpful for short periods of time. Realize that if you take it for too long, you're going to end up not being able to take it anymore. Passion flower, valerian root, hops combinations that are out there. The only thing you need to watch out for that, well, especially chamomile, you need to be extremely worried about is if you have any form of allergies. Okay? With the valerian root, you have to be really cautious about using that for long periods of time because it is the precursor to Valium and it is addictive. Okay? Same thing goes with the wild lettuce and also with the California poppies. It's still poppies, boys and girls. Okay? And while, we need to do something, somehow you got to just be really careful and realize that herbs are drugs. Simple. Herbs are drugs. They also happen to have natural alkaloids that you have to be concerned about your liver at some point. You keep taking it, it's going to build up in the liver, and past the point, there's going to be a problem. So if you're coming off of any of these, whether it be melatonin or whether it be valerian root, you need to taper off very slowly because if you don't, your body will react in a very negative way. And I can go into explaining a little bit more about that because there are things that actually create your brains to go into mini seizures. Even if you don't have epilepsy, even if you don't have anything like that, it's just simply because you're taking things that increase the serotonin levels, and when you start to decrease them, what happens is your brain starts to misfire. Now, this is not my concept. I've heard about this from other doctors, and I've also have heard about it here on YouTube by a nurse that went into great lengths of explaining about melatonin misfiring and certain SSRI drugs that are being administered now. All right, so what do I do when pain gets very severe and I'm in a world of hurt? I rely on things that are a little unconventional. I tend to rely for myself, and I can't recommend this for anybody else, into promethazine, Zofran, which are anti-nausea drugs, and also for, there goes my brain. I can't think. It's normal. I don't get anything more than 2 hours sleep at a time. Come on, Benadryl. Okay? Well, we're almost into 10 minutes. YouTube doesn't like things that go over 10 minutes. That's why I had to get rid of an earlier version of this. So, good night, my dear friends. May God bless you. May you be at peace. And we will talk some more. Take care.